you get a chance, everyone needs to move up to fire chat. Move to fire chat, so we'll get call-outs for east side.
Nope.
Once you have protecting shell, please step off the bridge.
We're in fire chat. Yippee. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Alright. Anybody need to build indom stacks on the demon wall? Anybody need to build indom stacks on the demon wall?
Yeah.
Alright, in that case, you know the drill. If you need protection shell, stand on the bridge. If you have protection shell, get your Logos actions set up. We'll all be dropping down on the Magia Melder side.
I only have shell.
Luckily, I didn't drop it yet.
Just running Merciless Death. Oh my god, Cedar Pop?
Cedar just
Now? Why now?
God damn it.
Can I join support?
Really? Really?
For everybody on fire side, I put an 8-way marker for the one that we dropped down. I know we have a couple first-timers.
Yep.
But
Those in ice group, I put a 1 down. I mentioned this earlier.
Okay, so ice goes to 1, alright?
Yep.
I have faint. We need it for AV. That is all.
Alright, I'm gonna pull the demon wall.
This is a park run, so I am not a tank. Good luck. Don't die.
you said we need faint?
No, I said I have faint for AV in case we need it. That is all. It's a prog run, so I am not a tank. I'll let other people do prog tank stuff.
Jump down when ready. Do we have somebody who wants to call a prog Owain?
Alright, I'll start pulling Megases.
Wait. I'm gonna death pull the Perogo.
Okay, death pull the Perogo. I
And
can't
then
tank the
go
Perogo, so somebody else should.
Oh. That's fine. You mother... Line of sighted me? Alright, let's try this again. Line of sighted me on the fucking stairs, you son of a bitch. I'm in water, so I'm alright. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Just keep me alive anyway.
I was just going to mention earlier how I'm glad we didn't have a repeat of last week where the entire party went down the wrong side.
Yeah, Luna.
I have done that before, yes.
I also have done that before.
Watch out for the AoEs these magazines throw out. AoEs are weird on the stairs. Keep a weird berth. A wide berth. Weird berth. Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird birth. Also, I'm the only
Dodge that AoE?
Yes.
Come back here.
Raging sauce.
Hi.
So maybe Scholar's not the best at
Tony.
mob group management.
I mean, there was a tank stance, so I wasn't gonna hold aggro against that no matter what I did.
Oh, his tank stance fell off my
Tony.
party list. I didn't see it.
These Bilbos up ahead.
Tony.
Stay on the sides of them only. Do not stand in front. Do not
Tony.
Nice test. prog Owain?
Tony?
Okay.
Did you want to call Rain, or did you want me to do it, Luna?
I don't care.
I don't either. That's why I figured to ask.
I'll do it.
Perfect. GCD.
I'll do it.
Pre-stun. Like a champ.
I do have you focus targeted, Luna.
Does anybody? I'm also a healer. Does anybody need the Owain explanation?
Just a tiny bit. This is my first time fighting him. I already know the mechanics, but nothing's wrong with a refresher.
Sounds good. So, just like everything in BA, Owain has a raid-wide and tank buster. Nothing new, nothing special. The major mechanic of Owain is his spears. He'll throw a bunch of spears out around the room. And then he'll switch his element back and forth between fire and ice. For this reason, you'll want to have /Magia Auto enabled for this fight. When Owain switches his element, he'll do an AoE. Any spears that are the same element as Owain will do the same AoE, so you want to get to a spear of the opposite element to avoid it. The only other notable mechanics, at one point, triangles will go out over people's heads. If you have a triangle, stack on his butt. If you have an AoE, go anywhere else. If we see it, there's a proximity AoE, run away from it, spread your AoEs away from the group. And we won't see hands, so it's not worth talking about. So, biggest thing,
Hopefully
when
we
he does-
won't see.
if we see hands, something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
The last thing, so the biggest thing though is when you see him doing an AoE, go to a spear of the opposite element. Listen for callouts. I'll call it out as we go.
Works for me.
Alright, do we have anybody from West Side?
I'll jump down in and see if they have a pull time.
Cool, thanks, Vinny.
Alright, so what does hands mean? Is that a bad thing?
Do you remember-
Scathic and Dunscaith?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The hands mechanic from Scathic? It's that.
Yeah, the hands that tether to you, and you have to look at them to stop them.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Never mind.
It's not cool. It's not cool. It's horrifying.
We came in here on the role reversal meme run where it was green DPS, red tanks, and blue healers, and we didn't see hands. DPS was good enough that we still didn't see them.
Yeah, no, I was on art group for that one, and we sucked. We were holding back East group, and they still.
It happens so late into the fight.
Yeah, it's like 2 meteors and then hands or something.
So just stick them down and no hands. There you go.
Pretty much.
We got this.
I've seen hands like once.
Yeah, I've seen them once ever, and it was very early into BA when nobody knew what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only time I've ever seen hands.
This boss was definitely mechanically easier than Art is. Art has more, like, gotcha mechanics that you actually have to respect. This one is just, like, usually takes longer to kill.
Yeah, this fight you're in like
Yeah,
one
on my
of
last run,
2 spots or 3 spots.
On my last run, I was with Art, so now I'm in Wayne, and he seems like a cool fellow.
Got a big pointy stick.
A really big pointy stick.
Okay,
we have a
440 Eorzean, 440, LB2's at 438, LB1's at 439.
Is there an Owain spear? I know there's one for the Virtue, but is there one for Owain? I want that.
No, there's the absolute lance from boxes.
I have that, but I don't have the one.
Early
Pull.
Early pull. Early pull.
Get in the arena. Get in the arena. Get in. Get in.
First
Does the
up, we'll have a tank buster, followed by a raid wide.
Clear comms, listen to callouts.
Raid wide will be next. Raid wide.
Hard to close.
spears are coming up. They won't do anything yet. That's on me. Sorry, Pure. Elemental shift. Stack on an ice spear. Stack on ice.
Do you want it back?
Yeah, I'll take it back. I just forgot to provoke again. Provoking. Tank Buster. Raid wide? Yeah, I just forgot to refresh provoke. Elemental shift will be next. Elemental shift. Stack on a fire spear. Stack on fire and check your Magia boards.
Elemental shift will be next. Blah, 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 blah.
Tank Buster will be next, followed by Doritos. If you have a Dorito over your head, stack them on his butt. If you have an AoE, just take them away from the group. Tank Buster. Doritos on his butt, AoE's away. Tank Buster? And he's dead. Sorry about that, Pure.
I had literally just queued up my Requiescat and I was in the middle of
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh god, provoke, wiggle, provoke.
I also immediately, like, you and I hit provoke at the same time, but you had tank stance, so you took it from me.
It's just not provoke, it's not my tank stance, I started spamming shield off, I was like, I'm just gonna hold it until we figure out what's up.
Because I guess the dudes are really shot outside of the
Indeed.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's grab that Calcabrina. There's a tank here who isn't me. Actually, I'm nice. I got it.
I can talk for a little bit, but once I get to the last boss, I have to go.
Nice stuff. Somebody grab that sprite already? No. There's a tank coming. Yep.
Jeez, who's doing that?
Hello. Oh, west side coming up. One trap not found. I'm gonna pull the sprite.
Who's doing the...
That's people joining the call.
Oh, that's... Oh.
Yeah.
I was leaving and joining and leaving and joining. I was confused. Okay, that makes sense.
Trap has been found.
I show.
Do we have any tanks that are going to be reflecting anything?
I grab the centaur because it's nice and juicy and right there.
Okay. Standing by first wave.
Good sleep.
Good dub.
Nice stuff.
Mission Press is on its way back.
Yeah, I'll grab the Geshin Pad. In 4 seconds. Hold. Lily, you're tanking, or are you red tanking? Or you're I am green tanking. Nice.
I was like, why are you using incense?
Tank with a book. I love it. Alright, I get that other
Do we have any reflectors? If not, we can have a tank pick up some of the Maguses.
I can get the Megases.
All of them?
Not all of them at once.
Why don't we just have Saki pick them up?
Alright, if you want.
Okay, Saki, can you pick them up?
Go, Saki, go.
Why is it that I see scholar text
Oh, shit.
that get blinded me with science in my head?
Okay. Watch for AoEs when they come out.
It'll be very quick. Get ready to move.
Remember that all chests in BA are individual will do, don't forget to claim your treasure coffer in the back of this room. Watch the AoEs. I don't know what, Stock, I hear that Las Vegas once this one dies. Alright, pulling the centaur.
Okay.
You ready to sleep it? Alright, welcome to Raiden. Cornelius, make sure you get your Raiden waymark set up. Do we have some new people with us?
We do.
Does anybody want to call or prog Raiden?
I'd like to work on it a little bit more.
Okay, do you want to do the explanation or you don't need to?
Yes, I can.
Alright, all yours.
Okay, so Raiden, he's gonna start off with raid wide damage. Go ahead and heal it up. Follow that with a tank buster. Following that, he will begin channeling an ability called Thunder Call. This will electrify the outer ring of this arena. This one right here.
We're all standing now.
Yes. So after that goes off, or when it's electrified, just don't be standing in it. That's pretty much it. At some point after Thunder Call goes out, we'll be calling for ranged DPS to head towards D to maximum cast range. This is to bait what's going to happen to the next mechanic. Raiden's going to use Amino Sakahoko, which is a really big circle AoE. After that, he's going to backflip to someone, and then use Whirling Zenteskin. This is a donut AoE, where the only safe spot is inside his hitbox. After those go off, we're going to go and stack in the middle to watch out for the next mechanic. Raiden will appear at either A or C, so when it happens, call it out, and everyone turn your cameras to look at him. Shortly after, circle AoEs will appear underneath the party, and you can start running at Raiden, but we will also call out which side of the room we want you to go to, because Raiden's going to point his sword towards one side, and we don't want to be on that side, so we'll call either left or right in order to avoid the attack. After that, let's see. We have...
The next mechanic of just another. Can I put in a couple of notes on the?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Basically, I'm sorry to interrupt. Basically, what we're doing is we're baiting puddles underneath us. We need to group up really tightly, and when he appears at Alpha or Charlie, he will wave his sword around. Whatever direction his sword is pointing is the direction you do not want to run. So the rule of thumb is if you're not sure which direction to run, you need to pop sprint and get out of the middle, because those puddle AoEs will spawn underneath us, and the worst way to die in this is to die to a puddle AoE, have your remembered proc just in time for him to charge across half the room and kill you again. So, watch the sword, listen to callouts. If you're not sure which direction to run, pop sprint and run directly toward Raiden, and then break right or left.
One other small thing, do not run immediately as soon as you see him spawn. It takes a couple seconds for him to actually swing his sword and decide which way he's going.
It also takes, you also have a lot of time to do this mechanic. Like, there is no problem running towards Raiden and then breaking either left or right. The big things are make sure you get out of the puddles in the middle, and don't commit hard to the wrong side, because unless your healer has rescue, you are not going to be able to save you.
That's pretty much it.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's fine. So the next mechanic that's going to happen... Yes, next thing that's going to happen is Lasting Bolt, or actually the Raid Wide and then Lasting Bolt.
Yeah.
Raid Wide and then they're heal it up. Lasting Bolt is a mechanic that targets 6 players with AoEs. These players need to drop it around the sides. These will spawn ads that need to be burned down. Do not attack Raiden while ads are out. And once they're dead, we'll go back to attacking Raiden. This he'll use another Raid Wide and then use Booming Lament. This is a circle AoE underneath various players. Just get out of it and stay out. He'll follow this up with Cloud to Ground, which is Exaflares. These are crawling circle AoEs that will spawn from any of the cardinal directions. So when you see it, call it out, and we'll group up behind the first set that goes off. After that, he will use bitter barbs. This is a mechanic that tethers a few people together, as well as starts spawning circle AoEs underneath people as we walk. Just avoid the circle AoEs, and then we'll break right or left to break the tethers. Just adjust accordingly. Following that, he will use rolling the Tetskin, so don't run too far. You just want to stay relatively close enough to ride in, so that after you break your tethers, you can run underneath his hitbox. He'll use another raid wide again, and then he'll use Cloud to Ground a second time, except this time, instead of using bitter barbs, he will use Levin Whirl. This is a really heavy raid wide damage attack. So tanks and healers, shield, heal, and if you do not have very much in the way of elemental gear, it is advised that you switch to defensive magia, because it hurts. Following that, we're approaching Clusterfuck, and I've not seen that enough to really be able to call it.
We'll call it as best we can. Things after that living whirl, he starts doubling up mechanics in really ridiculous ways. We'll call it as best we can if it happens.
Does anyone have any questions at this point? Because I know I've been trying to keep the explanations kind of light.
No?
I think you're good. All right.
Okay.
Time for ready checks.
Yeah.
Do we need any reshelling? We do.
If you have less than 10 minutes on your shell, go stand on the bridge to get shell.
In that case, you can ready up then.
Does anyone have a shell up currently?
Oh, good.
I saw somebody giving them out a little while ago.
Okay.
Once you have shell, step across the purple line.
Does he only
I think White Nature, one of the parties, has been throwing shell and protect. Yeah, he has mostly been doing shell and protect.
Okay.
Thank you, Q.
At this point, protect's only really needed for tanks. So if you're a DPS, don't worry if you don't have protect. One more thing. Who's main tanking Raiden?
I am.
As a scholar, I love it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm.
Do we have a backup tank?
Yes. We have a backup tank. Okay.
Luna, after the tank buster, I'm going to provoke out of tank stance.
Fire ready. Okay, all parties are ready. Let's set a pull time of 920 hours.
After the first tank buster, or every tank buster, Lupa?
After the first tank buster, I'm gonna provoke.
Is 920 okay, or do we need longer?
920 is fine.
Okay, 920 is fine. So that's going to be LB2s at 18, LB1s at 19.
Yeah, have the tanks in your party provoke and shark you if they can. I'm just gonna provoke so it doesn't run to pure love again.
Well, that was just me fucking up and not hitting incense the second time. I'm not gonna do that again.
Alright, let's get ready.
Limit break 2s at 18, limit break 1s at 19.
Okay, and LB2. LB1. Pull. We're starting off with a raid wide. And followed by tank buster. Okay. Thundercall is coming out soon. Do not be standing in the outer ring.
I'm gonna pull a little north.
Working on it. Xander, I can't get aggro off Xander.
Range DPS. Start heading towards D, maximum cast range.
Move toward Delta to maximum cast range. Melee, move back.
Okay, group up. And we're gonna get inside his hitbox. Inside his hitbox. Inside his hitbox. Okay. Now go to the center.
Back to the center.
Group up tightly.
Xander, turn your
Charlie, turn your cameras to Charlie.
Left
go to the right.
Delta.
Right. Go to the right.
Left. Sorry. right to Delta.
Uh-oh, as the stars.
I can't, yeah, that was on me, I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
That's fine. Okay. Another raid wide. And we're gonna get Lancing Bolt. Spread out so that you can see whether you have it or not. Be sure not to get caught in two of them. Okay, spread them out. Do not get Venn diagrammed. Okay. Spears are out. Stop DPS and Raiden. All in the spears. Okay. DPS and Raiden. And we're coming up on another raid wide. Following this raid wide, there are going to be puddles. Get out of them when they show up. Out. Okay, cloud to ground. We got extra flares showing up from one of the directions. Call it when you see it.
Charlie.
Charlie, C. We're gonna stack behind the first one. Stack up. Bitter barbs. Get out of the AoEs. Okay. And break your tethers. Don't run too far. Watch out for extra flares. They're still going on. Inside is hitbox. Inside is hitbox. Inside is hitbox. Oh, rip. Okay, we got another raid wide coming up. Okay, and we've got another cloud to ground coming up. Cloud to ground. Call it when you see it.
Just kill the boss.
Burn him.
Okay, good kill. How many bodies do we have? Before you before anyone sacrifice, be sure to grab your chest.
I need to sacrifice Azza because it was my stupid right and left screw up that got him killed. Got them killed. I'm definitely doing that.
Okay. Earth group report. I'm gonna give you one last spin before I switch to sacrifice.
Shin Suzuka! Oh, I got the sword!
Congratulations.
Woo!
I'm gonna give you another spin.
Yes, it did have tank stance on.
Yo.
That's why I couldn't hold aggro against him.
I don't even play Samurai!
I'm gonna pull the Calcabrina.
Okay, Corey, did you get up?
I'm up.
Okay, you're up. Okay, we're just waiting for Smitty and Frost to be fine.
We're seeing Smitty procs.
Yeah?
Okay, do we have someone picking up Smitty?
Oh god, somebody grab the stride.
Proc.
I still...
Oh,
it's up.
Proc. Okay. AoEs on stairs are big. Be sure to give them a wide berth. Do we have someone doing perception in this room? Can we pull some wind, actually?
Do you want me to do trash?
And pull?
Yeah. Fan has been pulled. Do we want to pull the rest of the wind?
Yeah, Sokka, if you want to get the rest of the wind trash.
Sokka, I'm going to pull the eye. Okay.
Pull no trap.
Trap has been down. AoE. Okay, Biblio has been pulled.
Do you want us to take care of the trash until your weakness wears off?
Oh, it's fine. I just, I can't fight against tanks and tank stance, so...
Yeah.
It's all good. I actually need to switch to refresh anyway, so this will be the end of my tanking.
Oh. Congrats on cake.
That was fun, though.
That was amazing.
That was fun.
You're an inspiration to scholars everywhere.
Yeah, good job.
Unfortunately, you can't be tank stance anymore.
I'm calling right.
Take your bet.
I'm gonna call center.
Center.
I'm always a center guy.
really sorry about the right and left screw up. I should shut up now.
No, it's fine.
That's why you just don't. That's why you don't call left and right.
We've started calling left and right.
We started calling left and right because people, like, we find that it's easier for people to adapt to that sort of call visually rather than, like, because not everyone's spatially gifted.
Yeah, the way that I like to call the charge is Raiden is at Alpha, look at Raiden, pop sprint, run towards Raiden, and then dodge left to Delta.
Sprite. No size in these hallways.
These walls are not real. This is what we call the Bethesda hallway. These walls are paper thin, and there are monsters on all sides. So stay in the middle. Don't use a size or standard step or any big AoEs. And I managed to not say Faux Requiem till just now.
Faux Requiem.
That's. I mean, I could have done that if I had.
Sprite has been told. Oh, Jesus.
Focus Sprite?
Fine, I got it.
Okay.
Good interrupt.
Hello.
Has anyone seen the chest yet?
It's in wind.
It's in wind.
It's in wind.
Let's finish clearing out the hallway
The
first.
logos and the sprite first, yeah.
Pull the logos back further. Always got my finger on that provoke button.
I mean, that's not tanky anymore, so...
It's more there for the sprite.
Yeah.
Luna's just like, I'm not tanking anymore, I don't care if anyone dies.
Well... oh, God.
Oh, no, Luna.
You know what happened?
Do not sack her just yet. We still need to find a
I saw
portal.
the sacrifice out.
Okay, so if we're lucky, you can just
Portal cheese it.
Portal
Yeah.
cheese.
Well, if I can, sorry, water party, you're gonna have to go without refresh for a little bit longer.
Let's do wind first.
That's fine. Oh well.
I like how I, mostly survived tanking all the way up to this hallway, and the thing that killed me was hitting refresh.
Oh, yeah. The refresh sprite pull. I hate that.
Yep.
I actually ended up thinking.
So what killed me was actually.
Do we have a tank that can pick up start pulling wind? Okay. These won't kill you if you're in their AoE, but they will put you to sleep. It's very annoying.
If you get hit by a bunch of AoEs, you might die anyways.
Okay.
Do not go into these rooms until the traps have been found, and unless
wait for the tanks to pull them out.
Or a perception user, do not go into these rooms. Wait for the tanks to come out.
Saga, do you want me to grab a few more of them? Because I look like you were thinking about it.
You can probably grab.
Okay. Wait for him to pull it out. Do we have a portal in here? Or we're not sure, okay. Trap has been found, so
There's another.
No, there's only one in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's you're either picking up something in water room or the portal's in here.
Yeah. Which edge do you detect something from?
Well, there's two traps in ice, so it's probably that you're picking up. Or water.
Yeah. Well, let's pull water anyways to see.
Was it me? I'm not talking very low.
No, it was the person before you.
Okay, so for Calcus, be either really close or really far. Nothing in between. These are cone AoEs. And they big.
Probably me because I turned down my mic by mistake.
Dodge the cones.
Cones.
This is why creepy dolls are the bane of my existence.
At least the arenas are already easy.
It looks like you pulled a. It looks like you did pop in.
Okay, do we have a portal in water, by chance?
Do not go into the room. The other trap has not been found.
No?
Both traps have been found here.
Okay, there.
Okay, let's pull ice. These will also do cone AoEs, just not as big, so watch
They
them.
will run at a random player to do it. So if one comes running at you to do a cone, get out of its way.
Luna, how long do you have left of your res timer?
Like 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
I'll let you know.
Oh, nice.
Portal and ice?
Ice.
Nice.
I do have Sack without a refresh out curve, so let me...
Alright, I'll pop my other refresh out then. Or I'll be back up and then I'll pop refresh out once we're done. Do not go into these rooms yet?
Let's pull the left spiking. No, both traps have been found.
Someone whose name starts with A. It's a mostly white icon.
Everybody go through portal unless if you're being a backup Sack for Luna.
Do you have it, Smitty? I'll be back up for her.
As a star. Are you talking or is it something in your background?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It must be your triggers then.
Okay, once you go through the portal, look to your right and grab the chest or treasure coffer or whatever.
Thank you, Smitty.
No problem.
Go. You alive?
I'm waiting for... I'm alive.
Okay, good.
Piranha, how could you take her kidney?
I'm really happy that Grana passed up a chance to harvest my kidney the other day. I was really grateful.
Wait, what?
Grana!
It's because I already have like 10 of yours.
Yeah, it's
Well, no. It was because Kuru sacrificed to get me up, so, the least I could do is to let her keep her kidney.
keep one kidney.
Wait, is someone doing solo jukebox change?
Somebody did solo jukebox change.
Did they survive?
Well, we better hope so, because we are all through the portal.
It's gonna be a while before we get no longer sealed. I'm assuming they survive.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Frog has been pulled as well. Keep an eye out. Burst down to Frog first if you can.
Great target for death.
Let's see if I get 2 death procs and 1 run finally. Like I might have.
Okay, watch your butt.
Watch the AoEs. Or, that's it.
Perfect. Pull the Calcabrina if you can. Perfect.
Okay, stay behind the Calcabrina.
Also great target for death.
This particular Calcabrina was one of the PTSD Calcabrinas.
Oh god, yes.
The time
yes.
the time the healers...
Let's pull the Viking first, and then the
Did we kill the Gushin Pest already?
Yes.
So we killed the Ruturk Memorial Gushin
Yeah, the
Pest.
Ruturk Memorial Gustin Pest is down, and now the healer massacre Calcabrina is down.
Okay. Frog? Oh my god, Moonlight. You are going to die one of these days.
This is why I pull stuff, because I have faith that you guys won't let me die.
It's gonna happen one of these days.
I'm sure it is. It's my fault
Keeping an
if
eye
I
on
do, though.
Moonlight also, on and off, since I'm healing today.
By the way, welcome back to A8 Moon. God, it's good to hear your voice.
Yep. Welcome back, man. You're always welcome.
To have you with us again.
Oh yes, I know I am. I've got the crafter bug though lately.
I did too, but I'm doing 2 BA runs a week. I decided.
One disconnect. Sauna looks like a dragoon.
What? You said disconnecting Dragoon, and I almost have a heart attack.
Oh, yep, they're in my party.
Okay, after the discussion post is dead, go ahead and report to your element's room.
Do not go into the room
if you don't see a trap, don't go into room. Is there a tank that wants to reflect Earth?
I haven't seen any reflect so far. Do we have anybody from support in the chat?
Do we have a support party?
Do we?
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay, good, because I stole Grana after I lost a DPS to...
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, the only person that was in support when I left was Kamachi.
Machi, are you here?
Okay, I'm going to assume that we have no tanks that want to reflect support, or reflect Earth. Jeez, words.
What does support ever do to you?
I just pinged them because
it wasn't there for me.
Support channel.
It wasn't there for me.
I am in Kamachi's team.
Alright.
Who is I?
Okay, go ahead and go into your element rooms. We're going to do this normally.
Casavar, can I get a ready check from support, please?
Find a nice corner, tanks, make sure that you have your tank stance on.
Fire team, come to the corner where you see the 2 jumping.
Yes. If you're not sure what defensive Machia is for your room, it is going to be matched in your room.
I spent like a week in Hydados. I never once joined support fate. Must be unlucky.
I mean, it's only up when BA is running.
Yeah,
so.
true. Just bad timing. There we go.
But 30 crystals.
Looks like half of my group is not listening to me.
Tanks, make sure your Magia board is set to the same element as your room. Make sure you have tank stance on. Not have any accidents.
Yeah, these are great targets for death.
Okay, if you're mostly prepared, go ahead and step inside your portal.
Thanks. If your party has passed a ready check, you can step in.
Ah, yes. I should probably do that.
Wait, support is apparently yelling for dispel.
Alright, don't spawn the fate. Step out of the portals. I also messaged Kamachi asking for a ready check. Apparently support is in combat.
Yeah.
With what, I couldn't tell you.
Probably buns.
No,
With 2 now.
Lives.
the bunny fate is...
Someone was doing PAW prep.
Oh.
They say they should be ready, so if your party passes a ready check, go ahead and step in your portals.
Earth ready.
Ice ready.
Fire is ready.
Okay.
Everybody's ready. May your death procs be plentiful.
Pulling the other one. Earth. Damn. Was that wind?
Lightning.
Lightning? Lightning was out first. Fast.
40% on last side. water.
Have I mentioned lately how much I hate the creepy dolls? Twice. If
If
not,
you bring them closer to the door, I can assize them. Get them out.
no,
You don't like
we're
those
not in trouble. We're just, yeah.
Too far to assise.
Just run water, son.
We're unhappy, not in
Stars
trouble.
are not fun.
Or Death Procs missed.
Yeah, same.
Ice just finished. We're good.
Last chance to pick up your chests if you missed any down the stairs and at the end we're over by sea.
Remember that we are about to hit the Bethesda hallway, so the walls are fake. Do
Also,
not.
monsters have respawned. But yeah, no size. We are still tiptoeing through about half of the Bethesda hallway.
All the trash that we didn't kill earlier is still in these rooms, and all the walls are still fake.
Come on down to fake doors.
We're just D&D players who failed our saving throw to disbelieve the illusions.
I got all sorts of fake doors down here. Fake
Saki,
doors.
you want me to pick up the other tomes? Okay.
I don't even see the thing.
For once, the Biblios is not hiding in the room.
It's about to. He's realizing he forgot to hide in the room and is now trying.
From my experience, normally he's hiding in the corner.
He's so sad. He's just
He's in
depressed.
timeout.
Oh. Poor guy.
His day's about to get a lot worse.
Oh. He is spanking.
Pull the Biblis back.
There's the centaur. Hide.
Farther.
Watch the centaur in your butt.
It's coming.
Okay.
Now I just realized that centaur looks a lot like Cruise Chaser.
Triggered.
Triggered.
Oh, it does. Why would you say that?
But Cruise Chaser is Alexander's head.
Good sleep.
It's been a long week.
It's been a very long week.
Any of you guys doing ultimate?
Yep. I might
I've
actually
crawled
go
1
back
minute
to
into
ultimate
it, if that's what you mean by doing it.
Alright.
I mean, actually trying to clear it instead of just checking it out.
Okay. If you're going AFK for a little bit, use HUD layout to not get kicked out.
If you're
Otherwise,
want the
stick around
explanation,
for
please do not go
explanations.
AFK.
Two things. HUD layout does not work anymore. Don't trust that it will.
It does.
Oh, wait.
What do you mean it
I
does?
thought we had...
It's back as of
It's
a
back?
week ago. Yes.
When
Oh!
they dropped 5.1, I went in an experiment.
Yep. We scienced it. We hung out for like half an hour in here after one run. Like 4.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I did it
It's
in
all because of the logout thingy.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
it
because
means
of the,
because they turned on the auto logout.
yeah, it's because of the auto logout for server congestion.
Congestion measures.
In any
Yeah.
case, before we get too much further, let's go ahead and set up rolls. If you could hold off on going AFK until after rolls are done, that would be great. First off, I need main tank, Wyvern tank 1, and a Wyvern tank 2 in /yell. You can also get an X in /yell chat if you have death.
Are we just doing AV positions, or are we also doing
Yeah,
Omni?
we're gonna.
I'm gonna do the whole thing.
Okay.
Can I get a Wyvern tank 1 and a main tank for Absolute Virtue? Thank you, Sake. Just need a main tank. I can't do it anymore because I switched logos. I am not main tanking AV without plate bearer incense. People will die. Still need a main tank for AV.
Kamachi just invited a stampede. Be warned.
Oh no.
Oh no. Buddy. Man, I wish I brought a second instance plate bearer now.
We will have to volunteer somebody if they don't volunteer.
Pretty much, Sander. If you've got waymarks up, you should just basically stand on Bravo and tank him there for the entire fight. AV tanking is actually nothing special. Just don't die to the tank buster. That's about it.
Are we still heading up decks and shells?
We will be shortly.
Okay.
Tank buster is Auroral Wind.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the fight shortly.
Who's doing rolls first, and then we'll do the explanation. Sander, is that you volunteering? Thank you. Okay. Now, I need a main tank, an off tank, and a bleed baiter for each Osmo platform. If you are in Fire or Earth group, you are on platform A. If you are in Wind or Lightning, you are in platform B. If you are in Ice or Water, you are on platform C. I will need a bleed baiter, a main tank, and an off tank for each party in/yell.
Thank you, Koru.
This time I can actually assume on my own bleed.
Isn't that nice?
I'm also gonna be right back.
If you are a tank, unless there's another tank in your party, you are going to have a roll.
Where's
Sorry,
the list?
Sorry, what platform are you on? Okay, you're gonna be off tank A.
Ooh, that means I guess I'm main tank A.
Alright.
Exciting.
I still need main tanks and off tanks on platforms B and C. That'll be lightning, ice, water, and wind. And I need bleed baiter on platform B. That is lightning and wind. Lightning is platform B, so Xander, you'll be off tank B. Who is the wind tank? Anybody in wind party? Who's your tank? Thank you, Lord.
Sir Dapper.
Oh, they both called off tank.
Lightning is B, not C, so that's fine. Still looking for main tanks on B and C. Those will be the wind and water tanks. And I need a bleed baiter on B from either wind or lightning.
You're a paladin, Lord. That's squishy.
Thank you, Keely.
Water tank is Marcy.
True.
Water
if
tank
you've
is Marcy.
before, that's okay. We will do the full explanation when we get there.
I do have to say that this is going way smoother than my last run.
Oh dear.
What happened on your last run?
I mean, nothing really. It's just that it took us forever to get started. For example, the OVNI thing, the OVNI glitching thing, took us an hour late to start.
Oh, OVNI decided to go MIA.
Oh, you're talking about
Monday.
Yeah. All right.
that was
So
on Monday,
we still
right?
need a few rolls, and then we need to explain AV.
Yep, I'm still missing main tanks on Bravo and Charlie. If you are a tank in
I'm
wind
Bravo.
water, please speak up.
I'm Bravo, main tank. Vasella.
Oh, Vasella? Oh, I thought you were on A platform for some reason. Okay. In that case, I am missing a main tank on Alpha and a main tank on Charlie. So
On platform C, their ice party's tanks already has a role, so if you're a water party and you're a tank, you need to be the main tank.
Water tank is Marcy.
Marcy, are you okay main tanking?
Yeah, I can go for it.
Okay, can you put something in /L?
Gold Frog is here.
And then I am missing a main tank on Alpha. That'll be the Earth tank. Alright, Sake, you are main tank Alpha. Cool. That is all of the roles.
We have 3 support tanks.
Yay.
Excellent. So, we will figure out... I'll get the support tanks labeled once they get up here. Also, thank you for finding 3 support tanks. The more support tanks we have, the smoother things go on Ozma. Cool. Who's doing the AV explanation?
I'm happy to.
All yours.
Okay, welcome to Absolute Virtue, who is still not as scary as Final Fantasy XI's Absolute Virtue. His raid wide is called Meteor. His tank buster is actually a small AoE centered on the main tank. So if you hear tank buster or see Aurora Wind, make sure you are nowhere near the main tank, who is Xander and is usually hanging out at Bravo. If your leaders have not put out waymarks, please prod them to do so now. Throughout the fight, he'll do a cone AoE called Medusa Javelin. This will petrify anyone caught in it, so the best way to avoid it getting caught in is to stay relatively close to Absolute Virtue most of the time. Throughout the fight also, his main mechanic is his bracelets will light up, either light or dark. Whatever color his bracelets are, that is the dangerous color. So if his bracelets are dark, we'll be gravitating toward the light thing and vice versa. The first time he does the Eidos bracelets, a bunch of puddles will spawn around the room. They'll just be one color puddles, get well away from all of them because they will double in size after a few seconds. Make note of how big they get because this will be relevant later. It's a lot like the puddles doubling in size in Leviathan and Eden. The second time he does the Eidos bracelets, we will get a room split. Half the room will be light, half the room will be dark. Just stand on the side that does not match his bracelets. It will be called out. The third time we get Eidos bracelets, there will be 2 colors of puddles. The way we deal with this is we get close to the puddle of the safe color, away from the puddles of the dangerous color, because those are the ones who will double in size, and don't stand in any puddles. You can, however, if you really need to, run across one of the puddles before the AoE goes off. Just don't stop and stand there. The next mechanic of note is going to be called Turbulent Aether. 12 random players will get marked with tether orbs, either light or dark. There's a pattern here. At the same time, small puddles will spawn around the room, also light or dark. What you do is spread out loosely to see if you have a tether, then wait in the middle to dodge a cone AoE so you don't get petrified, and then move to a puddle of the opposite color. It's 1 person per puddle, and the easiest way to make sure that everybody gets to a puddle is to look at where your tether orb spawned and move to the closest puddle of the opposite color clockwise from where that tether orb spawned. There's also a tank buster going off during this, so as you're running to your puddles, please don't stand too close to the main tank. If you absolutely cannot find a puddle in time, please drag your orb off to the side and just absorb the hit. If it kills you, we'll try to sacrifice you after the fight, but if it goes off in the middle of the group, it'll do a ton of damage, probably kill some people, and give everyone a damage down debuff, which is a problem because Absolute Virtue does have an enrage timer. On that note, if you're still using Wisdom of the Plate Bearer, I would strongly suggest, if at all possible, to switch to a more useful logogram. Plate Bearer is not going to save you from any mechanics, and it will make it harder for us to beat the Enrage timer. Okay, after the Turbulent Aether, shortly after that, we will get a double Meteor, a double Raid Wide. And Absolute Virtue will jump away. Please, when this happens, if you don't have a lot of elemental gear, switch to Wind Defense. Everyone move to the middle, and we are going to shield and heal through 3 different room splits. They will be called out, though I'm not always the fastest at calling these because I don't run ACT, so if somebody sees the first room split before I do, please call it. Otherwise, in general, please clear comms in the middle of the fight, unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong. After those 3 room splits, the next mechanic of note is we will get Call Wyvern. 2 Wyverns will come out. They are lightning defense. They are lightning. Everything else here is wind. So it really helps to be in Magi Auto for this fight, unless you're a tank. When the Wyverns come out, off tanks, please pick up your Wyverns. If you are still using Death, please Death Wyvern 2. Everyone else pile on to Wyvern 1. No more DPS on Absolute Virtue while the Wyverns are up. They will explode if they're up long enough, and again, do a massive amount of damage and a damage down debuff, which will make the fight nearly impossible to clear at that point. While the Wyverns are out, we will get another set of Turbulent Aether tethers. Deal with these the exact same way you dealt with the first set. Check to see if you have a tether, wait in the middle for the conal, and then run to a puddle of the opposite color, 1 person per puddle. There is also a tank buster in this phase, just to add 1 more mechanic. The next mechanic of note is we will get a set of double puddles. Deal with these the same way you dealt with the first set. Stand near a puddle of the safe color, get away from puddles of the dangerous color, don't stand at any puddles. However, pop sprint and run away from a proximity marker after that, and then back to the middle to deal with a double room split. There is also I didn't call this, but there is also a proximity marker immediately after the triple room split in the middle. Just run away from that. After the double room split, we will get another set of Wyverns and tethers and a tank buster and a conal and a tank buster. Deal with these exactly the same way you dealt with the first set. Pile on to Wyvern 1. Tanks pick up the Wyverns, pile on to Wyvern 1. Death Wyvern 2 if possible. Kill Wyvern 1 and then Wyvern 2. Check to see if you have a tether. Dodge the conal. Run to a puddle of the opposite color and avoid the tank buster. After that, we're getting somewhat close to Enrage, and mechanics will just sort of repeat. I know that's a ton of information. Are there any questions? Did I miss anything? By the way, raid food will be helpful here, if you have any.
I do have one question. For the tethers, do you stand in the circle of the opposite color, or do you stand slightly outside of it and guide the ball into the circle?
In the circle. You stand in the circle, the ball will come to you. If you are standing in the circle, the ball will not really do any damage to you.
Oh, so it doesn't move until you're standing there. Okay.
Oh, it'll move. You just need to you just need to move away from it as you move the puddle.
Okay, well, I misinterpreted what you said then. All right,
no,
I got it.
Yeah. You don't hover outside of the puddle until the ball approaches. As soon as you get to the puddle, just stay there, and the ball will come and blow up on the puddle.
Got it. Thank you.
That's why this is one reason it's really important to dodge the conal there, because if you get petrified and you have a tether orb, you won't be able to move away from it, and it'll blow up in the middle of the group.
All right, sounds good.
I do have bravery for some blue DPS for when we're ready.
Is support all here?
Yeah, we're all here.
Can we get ready checks from groups then?
Reminders for this fight: Xander is main tank, Sake is Wyvern tank 1, and Vasilla is Wyvern tank 2. PW's up?
They were prepping before support.
I already have synced up.
Yes, they were prepping before support. Possibly even before we got in here.
Is support ready? Because I think everybody else is...
Can I have DPS and blue DPS on the bridge?
You're double edging, you stand in the back so we get you last. Once you have double edge. Once you have bravery, or if you don't need it, step across the purple line so we know you're good.
Don't worry, I have 4 remembrance in stock.
Good to know.
I wish you could just give out double edge to everybody. That'd be horrifying.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! You just start giving. You know the other healer doesn't really want it, but then you just give all their DPS double edge.
It's like the blade man standing in the middle of the platform on Ozma. Not increase. Oh god, that would be insane.
Non-consensual double edge.
Oh god.
Just wait for somebody to go AFK in town and pass off double edge to them.
That'd be troll, though.
Once you have bravery, please step across the purple line.
Am I the only one giving out bravery?
Looks like it.
I've got one, but I'm saving it for Ozma. I want to keep death for
I
wyverns.
think same goes for my co-healer, so...
Alright, once I see a quorum with bravery, I'm gonna... Follow full time.
No rush, I'm eating dinner.
Yes, if you are the main tank, please set your marching aboard at defensive.
Please. Alright, for dinner. Alright, this is...
It's pizza.
Not pizza.
We go for a 12-15 full time. It looks like the braveries are... Oh. Yeah, the braveries are mostly out. 12-15 full time.
15 sounds good.
I think I noticed that Andrew's not here for once. What?
Andrew does not have internet right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Double checking who's main tanking, or it's, Xander, okay. I'm just
Once you have bravery, please step over the bridge. I just bravery the same person 3 times.
There are comms except for color and backup colors.
And we're going to do limit break 2 at 13, limit break 1 at 14. Limit break 2s. Limit break 1s. Tank full. Starting out with a raid wide. Bracelets aren't dark. Just get away from all the puddles. They will double in size. Dodge the conal. Bracelets. Stand on the dark side of the room. Dark side. Tank busters. Make sure you're well away from Xander. Bracelets. Bracelets are dark. Avoid the dark puddles. Stand near a light puddle. Do not stand in any puddles. Raid wide. Turbulent Aether, spread out loosely to see if you have a tether, then wait in the middle to dodge the conal before moving to a puddle of the opposite color. One person dodge, one person per puddle. Avoid the main tank as you're moving to your puddles. Tank buster going out now. Raid wide, this is the double raid wide. Get to the middle. heal. Switch to defensive Magi if you need to. Shield and heal through these.
Poppy Rican potions.
Light side.
Light.
Dark side. Next one will be light. Dark side now. Light side. Run away from the proximity marker and then back to the middle to dodge the conal. Dodge. Also get away from Bravo because there's a tank buster coming out shortly. Tank buster now. Make sure you're nowhere near Bravo. Raid wide. Wyverns are coming out. Off tanks. Get ready to pick up your Wyverns. Death Wyvern 2. Pile onto Wyvern 1. Also check to see if you have a tether. Wait in the middle to dodge the conal and then move to a puddle of the opposite color. Dodge the conal. Now move to your puddles. Tank busters, this is going out. Avoid the main
Ads
tank.
need to die. Ads need to die.
Raid wide. Bracelets. Bracelets are light. Avoid the light puddles. Stand near a dark puddle. Do not stand in any puddles. Get away from the proximity and then back to the middle to dodge a room split. Light side of the room. Light side. Light side of the room. Light side again. Dodge the conal. Raid wide. Wyverns are coming out again. Death Wyvern 2, kill Wyvern 1. Also check to see if you have a tether. Wait in the middle to dodge the conal and then move to your puddles. Dodge
Healers,
the conal.
if you have LB3 and dead, you can use it.
Tank buster.
Add
To your
needs to
puddles,
die.
please.
Raging strikes. Mind veil on him.
Raid wide. Bracelet.
Healers, you. Good.
Bracelets are light. Stand near a dark puddle, away from light puddles. Do not stand in any puddles. Get away from the proximity and then back to the center. Light side of the room. Light side. Dark side.
Koru, please LBS.
I am.
Thank you.
I need to not stand in the bad.
No, I figured. I just was hoping you'd get off before.
Good, LB healers.
That LB was. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Looks
you.
like after all the LBs, we have 5 permadeaths.
Okay, I'm gonna get started with Smitty.
Are there any other healers down? Who have sacrifices?
Oh wait, did they do a chest? I didn't grab it.
If you're going to raise someone, be sure to stand on top of their body. I procced. I'm gonna go for another one.
I missed my orb that one time.
Actually, let me pick up my chest first before I go for another one.
No one else died, so yay.
Shimaru.
That was really clutch with all the LBs. Good job, healers.
No proc.
Alright. Could we...
Alright, on the 2 ads up ahead, do not put any dots on them whatsoever. Tanks need to be able to stun them.
There is an ability called On the Properties of Darkness that will randomly disappear people's buffs.
2 healers did not get up.
Alright,
Actually,
I've got Eris.
also healer. Yeah, healer did not get up.
Thanks, please stun that.
I've got Luna Lancer.
Okay, let me see. Kyo did not pop. I'm getting Kyo. What?
Nice death. Nice death.
Oh. Okay, I got scared for a second.
I'll get the last one.
Alright, do not jump down. Do not jump down unless you know what you were doing.
Do not jump down. Do not jump down.
Proc.
Do not jump down.
So, we're back in the mine.
Luna, go up and start working on explanations. Oh,
I didn't proc, so
okay,
not going anywhere.
I've gotcha.
Thanks, Cora. Alright, I'm gonna go start doing the Osmond explanation if you guys have got this.
Okay, Kyo's up. Everyone's up, I think? Or someone's done. I got Koru if you don't proc.
Yep,
okay, you proc.
Alright, welcome to Ozma. If this is your first time seeing Ozma, please come up near the purple line without stepping on the jump pads. You don't jump down. It'll be helpful if you can see the room below you while I do this explanation. Party leads, go ahead and set up your waymarks. Cobalt, did you do yours already?
Yes, I did ours.
Okay, cool.
If you've heard this explanation a zillion times and are going AFK, please put your HUD layout up.
I need a sick refresher.
If you need a refresher, again, come up near the purple line so you can see where I'm going to be.
We have someone still on their way.
Yep, I'm also on my way, so. Alright, welcome to Ozma. So, if you've fought Ozma in Weeping City before, you've actually seen most of this fight already, but there's some new stuff and some stuff that works a little bit differently. In BA, Ozma has 4 forms: Sphere, Star, Triangle, and Cube. The one you see behind me right now is Sphere form. Every form has a unique auto attack and 1 or 2 unique mechanics for that form. The auto attack in Sphere form is a heavy-hitting auto attack on the main tank on each platform. So main tanks, make sure you're in tank stance, make sure your Magia board is set to defensive, and make sure you're holding aggro throughout the entire phase. Those autos will kill any non-main tank in 1 hit. The only other thing that Ozma does in Sphere form is cast Black Hole. When Black Hole goes off, you need to be standing on one of these blue buttons, or you'll be sucked out of the room and sent back to town. In addition, if there's any blue button with nobody standing on it, we all get sucked out of the room and sent back to town, and nobody wants that. So, tanks, healers, melee DPS, you'll be standing on the blue button on your assigned platform. Your platform will be determined by your party. If you're in a fire or earth party, you'll be on platform A. Wind and lightning will be on platform B, and ice and water will be on platform C. If you don't see waymarks, ask your party leads to set them up for you. So, tanks, healers, melee DPS, you'll be on the blue button on your platform. Ranged DPS and casters, you'll be on the blue button on the ring to the right of your platform. You will always be going to the right in this fight unless you are a main tank. There's 1 exception for main tanks. And that's it for Sphere phase. Heavy autos on the main tanks and Black Hole. This takes us to Star form, which is always the first one. After that, it's entirely random. Star form starts with a big point-blank AoE that will get to the back of the platform to avoid. Just listen for callouts, it's not too bad. The auto attack in Star form is a miniature stack marker on a random person on every platform, so it's very important that we all stay grouped up together for the entire phase to avoid getting hit. Don't use gap closers during this phase because it'll put you by yourself, and if you get autoed, you will just fall over. The first mechanic in star form is a knockback. It's big, it's obvious, it has a huge telegraph to tell you it's coming, and it originates from the blue buttons. Based on other mechanics, I'll tell you to get either knocked towards Ozma or knocked away from Ozma. If you're getting knocked towards Ozma, you're going to be about here. If we're getting knocked away from Ozma, you're going to be about here. It's important not to stand entirely on the blue button on each platform because it has a high risk of getting knocked in a random direction and falling off. You can knockback immunity this, although if you don't have a bunch of experience with this fight, I recommend against it, because there are times where the knockback will push you out of an AoE. So, again, it originates from the blue button. Stand either on the Ozma side or the away from Ozma side of the button, just to take the knockback based on callouts and other mechanics. The other major mechanic in star form is meteors. This is the single most important mechanic in this fight. If you remember nothing else from this entire explanation, remember meteors. This is the mechanic that wipes more groups than any other. When the meteors go out, 2 people on each platform will get giant purple circles over their heads. When this happens, drop everything that you're doing. There is nothing in this fight that is more important than placing a meteor. Always, always, always assume that you have a meteor until you're absolutely 100% certain that you do not. One of those meteors needs to go all the way in the back of the platform, as far back as you can possibly go without falling off, where I'm jumping up and down right now. Not on the blue button, not on the waymark, all the way in the back as far as you can go. The other meteor goes on the blue button on the ring to the right, where I am jumping up and down right now. If the main tank gets a meteor, theirs will always be placed on the platform because they When the meteors drop, they spawn a set of ads that will need to be picked up and burned down as quickly as possible. Like the wyverns in AV, they have a hard enrage, and if you don't kill them quickly enough, they'll enrage and kill us all. And that is most certainly a wipe and an end to the run. So, again, meteors. One in the back as far as you can go without falling off, and one on the blue button on the ring to the right. It is the most important mechanic in this fight. And that's it for Star Phase. Meteors, knockbacks, and stay stacked for those autos. This takes us into Triangle Phase. Triangle Phase also has meteors. They're handled in exactly the same way as Star Phase. In addition, Ozma throughout the phase will put a bleed debuff on the furthest person away from every platform, so unless you're the bleed baiter, stay away from the back of the platform unless you're forced to move there by a mechanic. If you're forced to move there by a mechanic, move away from the back of the platform afterwards. The other mechanic in Triangle Phase is Acceleration Bombs. It's a debuff. It shows up on your bar next to the raise and mount restrictions, and it slowly ticks down to 0. This is the second most important mechanic in this fight. When that debuff hits 0, if you are moving, casting, auto-attacking, doing emotes, licking, Ozma, moving your camera, or doing basically anything else, it will explode and kill you and all of your friends. So, don't do that. If you have an Acceleration Bomb, put your weapon away, don't move, don't auto-attack, don't cast, don't move your camera, wait for it to 0, give yourself about a second for safety, and then go back to whatever you were doing. There is one and only one exception. If you have both a meteor and an acceleration bomb, place your meteor first, check the timer on your Excel bomb, and handle it appropriately. Meteors take priority over everything, including acceleration bombs, and acceleration bombs take priority over everything else. And that's it for Triangle Phase. Bleed, meteors, Excel bombs. This takes us to Cube Phase. Tanks, this is your phase. During Cube Phase, Ozma's auto attack is a line AoE targeted on the main tank at each platform. So main tanks, you'll be standing on the left side of your platform. Party, you'll be standing on the right so you don't get cleaved. At the start of Cube Phase, 6 orbs will spawn around the ring, 2 on each section, one about here, and one about here. Off tanks, it's your job to switch to defensive magia, face roll all of your cooldowns, and then run into these orbs before they run into the platform and kill us all. These hit very, very hard. Unmitigated, they hit you for about 180,000 damage. So, it is very important that you are in lightning defense. If you're not comfortable switching your magia board during the fight, just set yourself to lightning for the entire fight. When you run into the first orb, wait for your healers to top you up afterwards, and then go ahead and run into the second. While this is happening, there's a basic stack marker on the platform. Do not stand in the stack marker. If you stand scan in the stack marker, it will give you a debuff that makes the second orb hit you for about 800,000 damage and kills you. Also, while this is happening, Ozma will do a small knockback from Ozma called Holy that'll just knock you back a little bit, so if you're on the ring, make sure you're close to Ozma so you don't get knocked off. And that's it for cube phase. Orbs, and those line AoEs on the main tank. Off tanks, if you have any questions about this, please do ask. This is one of the mechanics that is very easy to kill people if you're not comfortable handling it. One more note, Hallowed Ground does not work. Living Dead works if you have a white mage who knows that you're doing it. So Purple-Eyed, I think it does work, and...
I just want to double check. I think Luke was saying that invulns probably aren't going to work at all.
The best invulns.
Okay, never mind. You can't invuln them. And that's it for cube phase. The only other notable mechanic throughout the fight is that throughout the fight, Ozma will spawn a copy of himself at the other end of every platform that'll do some AoEs that we'll have to dodge. Don't worry about it, just listen for callouts and go from there.
So
Thanks, remember, your invulns are worthless. Your invulns are worthless in this fight. Today I learned.
It was a weird thing for them to patch out, but whatever.
Yeah, agreed. Everybody should have a remembered up in this fight. If you die, you will, and your remembered doesn't proc, you will get black holed and sent back to town. So it's very important that you have a remembered for this entire fight. If you fall off the platform and a proc, you will spawn on a platform, and you should head back to your normal platform at the first available opportunity. The other thing that can kill you is an off tank. If you stack in the stack marker, the second orb will kill you, so be careful not to be anywhere near that stack marker.
You can also kill others with the orb.
Yes, pop those orbs as quickly as possible because they run into the platform and you pop them there. They have an AoE and they will kill people.
Hug the front of the platform if you are not dealing with orbs.
Yeah, if you're not dealing with orbs, be as close to Ozma as you can without falling off. Careful not to get cleaved by the tank laser. Alright, anybody got questions?
Yes, there was a question. Lord,
Oh,
I don't know what the orbs are. Lord is having some problems with the orbs in chat.
And it's off tank C.
Yeah. He wants to know where the orbs are again so he knows what to do.
Yeah, totally. So there are 2 orbs on each section. One will spawn halfway between the platform and the blue button, and the other one will spawn halfway between the blue button and the next platform, about here. You, as an off-tank, are responsible for taking the orbs on the platform to your right, or the orbs on the ring to your right, always to the right. Support
will be rotating depending on the situation.
Yep, support will start on platform A. Based on what happens, I will either designate support tanks or the entire support team to move to another platform to cover for people who have died.
Did you go over shades and black hole escape routes?
I talked about shades, I did not talk about the escape hatch. So, in the event that most of us end up dying to something and we know we're not going to clear, I will tell people to abandon ship and take the black hole. If this happens, we just don't stand on our buttons during black hole. We all get sucked out and sent back to town, but we can res everybody off the floor there, and we end up with nobody de-leveling. This is a last resort. Hopefully we don't have to do it.
And one more thing, if you're late on getting to your button for black hole, you do not need to insist on going to the ring button if you're a ranger healer. Make sure that, first and foremost, that you are on a button.
Yeah, it's better to be on a button than no button, but if everybody just stays on the platform, then we all get sucked out because nobody's on the ring. So, at least we can attempt to.
It's only if you cannot make it and you know it.
Yeah.
Make sure someone's on the ring button first before you're trying to stay on this.
If you get sucked out, please stay in party for limit break.
Also, if you get sucked out, don't release. When we either clear or abandon ship and take the black hole, there will be people in town who can res you afterwards.
I had a question in my party, real quick. When the meteors spawn and they drop ads, whose responsibility is it to grab the ads?
In general,
the main tank or the off tank?
In general, the main tank should provoke the ad on the platform, and the off tank should provoke the ad on the ring.
Makes sense.
Just pull them to the platform so that your party can DPS them down. Anybody else got questions? There is no such thing as a stupid question here, if it means that we end up not dying to mechanics. So don't be afraid to ask questions if there's anything in this fight you're uncertain about. Healer dots I'll mention briefly. Healers, we love your dots. It's less bad than it used to be, but it still takes up dot slots that are useful for DPS. So hold your dots until the first star phase. After that, you're good.
I tried to apply Feint on AV on GCD1, and it failed because there were too many dots. So nobody got Feint for AV.
Well, that's why it took so long to kill him.
Alright, so is that it?
Yeah, if there's no more questions. Alright. Go ahead and jump down. Summoners, please dismiss your pets. And head to your platform. Be careful not to pull Ozma, and be careful not to fall off. You absolutely can fall off. If you need a new shell for any reason...
Oh, no!
Stay progged.
Oh, my god.
Incidentally, if you fall off at any point, you will respawn on A. Please move back to your proper platform.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
be sure to repop a remembered if you happen to be the unfortunate soul.
Yep, if you fell off, pop a new remembered. If you need a new shell, please stand on the blue button on your platform, and if there's anybody who has shell and could give it out, that would be awesome. If you have less than approximately 15 minutes on shell, you need a new one.
So far between
Stand up, get off the button if you already have shell.
Do not get braveries out yet. I do have bravery.
If you are giving out bravery for your platform, put out bravery and your platform letter. Everything in Ozma is magic damage except for add autos, and those hit like wet noodles on tanks.
Don't ready if you don't have bravery, is that it?
Ready now? We'll press up braveries after everyone is ready.
Got it.
Last chance for questions.
Please clear comms fight, unless you are a main tank, off tank, or bleed baiter who died.
Yeah, things I need to know. If a bleed baiter dies, we need to know, and someone else on the platform should take over. I will not be able to assign anybody. If a main tank or off tank dies, I need to know. If a party loses all of its healers, I need to know. I'm missing a ready check.
Why do I have a fire on my head?
Fire is ready.
Why do I have a blue on my head? That I don't understand. If you're a tank. I'm a tank?
If you're in Luna's party, it's because she's using it to keep track of who's doing what.
Oh, okay. Cool. Alright.
Yeah. If you're in my party, I mark everybody because it lets me keep track of who's alive and who's not role-wise during Ozma.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Extremely helpful. A couple of the Ozma callers who have been
I just wanted to make sure I was worried I was supposed to do something and didn't know I was supposed to do it. That's fine.
Good question.
Do I have a ready check from Fire?
Fire is ready.
Alright. Bravery users, go ahead and get started. Once you have bravery, please move to the right.
I already gave braveries out, so...
Do it again. Refresh him while we're waiting. Again, once you have bravery, move to the right so we don't double up.
Vivi, you can go ahead and keep, are you keeping on bravery for the entire fight?
I will be.
Okay.
Koru, by chance you end up dying, I'll probably end up being back up.
Okay. This will be a 20-second verbal countdown. LB2's on 3. LB1's on 2. Main tanks, pull on 1. Everyone else, wait for my mark. Let the main tanks establish aggro, or you're gonna get hit by that first auto, and it is not fun. This is a good chance to pop raid food if you have any. Bravery on Charlie is done. Is bravery on Alpha done?
Yes. We do not yet have a full time. It's going to be a manual countdown.
Bravo, let me know when you're done with bravery.
Looks like I'm the last one.
Alright, 20-second verbal. LB2's on 3, LB1's on 2, main tank's on 1. 20 seconds, starting now. $15 and counting. 10 seconds. 5, 4, LB2, LB1, main tanks full. Everyone engage. Main tanks are taking heavy autos. Keep them alive. First up, we're going to get to the back. Get to the back of the platform, wait for the AoE, and then move up as a group. No gap closers. Move up as a group. Healers, you can dot now. The first star phase has no meteors, but this is where they'd normally be going out. Take them back and to the right. When the knockback appears, we're going to get knocked towards Ozma. Get knocked towards Ozma. Stay stacked to show those autos. Black hole on your buttons. Main tanks are taking heavy autos. Keep them alive. Everyone can move back. Shades are up. Get to the back of the platform. Wait for the AoE. And then move back up. Main tanks are still taking those heavy autos. Shades are up. Get off the platform, wait for the AoE, and then get close to Ozma. Once we get close, off tanks, get ready. Get close to Ozma. Off tanks, be ready to pick up your orbs. Off tanks, go. Main tanks left, party right. Off tanks, get the second orb. Small knockback. Main tanks left, party right. If you died, please pop a new remembered. The next shade mechanic will have a small knockback. Listen for callouts. Shades are up. Waymarks. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Stack on waymarks and wait for the AoE. Wait, and move back up. Main tanks left, party right. Black hole on your buttons. Main tanks are taking heavy autos, keep them alive. Everyone can move back. Shades are up.
Be sure to stay in party below.
Get close to Ozma, wait for the AoE, and then get to the back of the platform. To the back. Move up as a group, share those autos. Meteors will be next. Be ready to place your meteors. Back and to the right. Assume you have a meteor, although you know you don't. Charlie, tank LB. Get knocked towards Ozma. Pick up the ads and burn them down. No more DPS on Ozma until they're dead. Burn those ads. knocked towards Ozma. Get knocked towards Ozma. Those last ads need to die. Nicely done. Keep sharing autos. Black hole on your buttons. Everyone can move back. Kids are up. Get close to Ozma, wait for the AoE, and then get off the platform. Get off. Bleed Vaders to the back. Acceleration bombs are out. Check your debuffs. Meteors, back and to the right. Back and to the right. Check your Excel bomb timers. Pick up the ads and burn them down. No more DPS on Ozma until they're dead. Shades are up. Bleed Vaders to the back. Get to the back of the platform. Get to the back of the platform. Wait for the AoE. And move back up. Basic stack. Nothing new, nothing special.
We had good procs on B.
Same on C.
Can someone cleanse C?
Black hole on your buttons.
Off tank A just got sucked out. It looks like.
Komachi, you are now off tank A. Shades are up. Get off the platform, wait for the AoE.
I'm dead.
Get close to
Main tank
Ozma.
B dead.
Off tank B, you are now main tank B. Get close to Ozma. Support tank, take B's orbs. Support tank, take the orbs up for B. Off tanks, do your thing. Kaisavar, you are now off tank B. Off tank B, you are now main.
Dead. No, actually, never mind. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm stupid.
Lupa is now main tank B. Lupa is main tank B. Xander is off tank B. Shades are up. Get off the platform. There will be a small knockback. Stay close to Ozma. Basic stack. I am black holding. Koru, you are now the caller.
Got it. Can somebody help me with shades? I don't really see them.
I got you.
Thank you.
Black hole on your buttons.
Everyone can move up. Shades are up.
Off.
Off platform, main tanks last.
Then far.
Move up as a group, share the auto attacks. Meteors are next. Meteors, back and to the right. Back and to the right.
Ice party, please poppy recon potions. We have
Get
no
knocked
healers.
toward Ozma. Pick up the ads. Burn them down. No more DPS on Ozma until they're dead.
Focus ads.
Shades are up.
Loose.
Knock towards.
get knocked towards Ozma.
The next black hole will be the final black hole.
Oh, we're at 10%.
Your call, Corey.
Fail.
We have a lot of dead.
Fail.
Abandoned ship. Do not stand on your buttons.
Orange. Imperial arrow. Rise.
Oh my god. I died so many times. I remember it's popped each time. I ran out. And
Nice work, everybody. That was a 70%. That was a 70% bailout. So there's 7% bailout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we didn't have a lot of deaths, then we probably would have
We
been
absolutely
mostly
would
on track.
We absolutely would have cleared.
That was close.
Still,
Pretty good run, everybody.
Prog run. Thanks so much.
For a prog.
Thank you again.
For a prog run.
Thank you. I really appreciate the call-outs, everything. You're so organized.
Luna's the best BA caller.
You're excellent, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks again for another good run. That was close.
Oh, the sea meteors. That was spicy. We were lucky we got good procs.
That was unbelievable.
Celebration limit race.
I remember it procced all 5 times. And yet I can't a single stone in Pokemon.
You died 5 times.
Same percent chance.
70% is a lie.
Wow.
Thanks so much for coming along, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
We
you,
will
Sean,
be
for doing
we will be hosting another run on Tuesday, I believe. Vasella, are you doing your clear run like usual?
I'm taking a break from hosting.
You're taking a break from hosting? Alright, so
I don't think there's anything scheduled for tomorrow. I think there might be something on Monday. And Smitty, are you doing your Frag Plus on Tuesday?
Yes. Yeah, I think after this is on Monday. Anyone want to do CQ or PW? Or both?
Well, PW
They're both on cooldown.
Dang.
PW, yeah, I'm gonna jump out. I have work in the morning, but thank you all for coming.
Hosting
Good night, Smitty.
No problem, anytime.
Next time I will. Next time we do this, I will continue my quest.
Because I'm kind of confused. My act normally doesn't make sense.
It maintains
Oh, I don't think it was yours. I think it was
I think it might be Luna.
Asusa.
Oh.
Because it was definitely like a very quiet male voice coming from that one, and then when she talked, it was, you know.
I could have sworn I heard my name on there.
Yeah, some of us have act triggers that call out people's names and they get mechanical.